Have you ever felt like your mind just shuts down under stress? Like you can't think straight, your memory gets foggy, or you suddenly snap at people for no reason at all? That isn't a sign of weakness. It's your brain literally reprogramming itself under the weight of pressure. In this video, we're going to dive deep into what really happens inside your head when life gets overwhelming, and why too much stress can actually cause parts of your brain to shrink. Imagine you're facing a stressful situation. Maybe it's a tight deadline at work, a heated argument, or even the sudden blare of a car horn. The first part of your brain to react is a small almond-shaped region called the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's alarm system. The moment it senses danger, it sounds the alarm, alerting another area called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is like the command center for your body's stress response. It immediately kicks your nervous system into high gear, activating what's known as the fight-or-flight response. This triggers your adrenal glands to release a flood of hormones, primarily adrenaline and cortisol. Instantly, your heart starts pounding, your breathing quickens, and your senses become razor. Blood is redirected from your organs to your muscles, prepping you to either confront the threat or escape from it. For our ancestors facing predators, this system was an absolute lifesaver. It's designed for short, intense bursts of action. But here's the problem. In our modern world, the predators are often things like chronic work pressure, financial worries, or relationship conflicts. These stressors don't just disappear. They linger. And when the stress becomes constant, that alarm system in your brain never gets a chance to turn off. It's stuck in the on position, and that's when the real changes inside your brain begin to happen. So, what happens when your brain is constantly under siege from stress? The continuous flood of cortisol starts to have some serious long-term effects. At first, you might just feel a bit more anxious or on edge. But, over time, this hormone begins to damage the hippocampus, part of your brain responsible for forming new memories, learning, and regulating your emotions. It's not just a theory. Scientific studies using brain scans have shown that people suffering from prolonged stress or conditions like post-traumatic stress disorder often have a visibly smaller hippocampus. This is the biological reason why, under chronic stress, it becomes so much harder to remember things or learn new information. You're not just distracted. The very structure of your brain responsible for memory is physically shrinking. While your memory center is shrinking, something else is happening. The amygdala, your brain's fear center, is getting a constant workout. And just like a muscle, the more you use it, the bigger and stronger it gets. A larger, more active amygdala makes you even more sensitive and reactive to stress. It's a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle. The stress you feel makes your fear center grow, and a bigger fear center makes you feel even more stressed. Your brain starts rewiring itself for constant survival, not for learning, creativity, or happiness. Now let's talk about the CEO of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. This is the sophisticated, logical part right behind your forehead. It's responsible for decision-making, problem-solving, impulse control, and rational thought. It's what helps you weigh pros and cons and think things through calmly. But when stress hormones like cortisol remain chronically high, they start to weaken the connections to the prefrontal cortex. Essentially, its control over the rest of the brain diminishes. This is precisely why, during stressful periods, you might find yourself making impulsive decisions you later regret, overreacting emotionally to small things, or struggling to focus on a single task. It's as if your brain demotes its calm, rational CEO and hands over control to a panicking, reactive intern, the amygdala. In a true survival situation, this makes sense. Your brain prioritizes speed and instinct over slow, deliberate thought. That's great when you need to jump out of the way of a speeding car, but it's terrible when you're trying to compose a professional email, solve a complex problem at work, or have a calm conversation with a loved one. Your brain defaults to its most primitive, reactive state. The impact of stress doesn't stop at your mental and emotional state. It takes a significant physical toll on your brain and body as well. Chronic stress actively reduces neurogenesis. That's the scientific term for the birth of new brain cells. Your brain literally stops creating as many new neurons as it should. It also wreaks havoc on your sleep patterns, which are crucial for memory consolidation and brain repair. It weakens your immune system, making you more susceptible to getting sick. And, perhaps most insidiously, it promotes inflammation throughout your body and brain. This chronic inflammation is a key factor linking long-term stress to a host of serious health problems. We're talking about an increased risk for anxiety disorders, major depression, and even neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. The connection extends beyond the brain, too. It's a well-established risk factor for heart disease. It's crucial to understand that your brain and your body are not two separate entities. Stress is the invisible electric wire that connects them, and when it's overloaded, the entire system can short. After all that, you might be feeling a little stressed just hearing about it. But here's the most important part of this story, the good news. Your brain is incredibly resilient and has a remarkable capacity to heal. This damage is not necessarily permanent. Studies have shown that we can actively reverse some of these negative effects. Simple practices can make a world of difference. For example, regular mindfulness and meditation have been shown to literally regrow gray matter in the hippocampus. Physical exercise is another powerful tool. It boosts neurogenesis and floods the brain with feel-good chemicals. Even something as simple as deep, slow breathing can signal to your nervous system that you are safe, which immediately begins to lower cortisol levels. Practicing gratitude and fostering strong social connections helps reactivate your prefrontal cortex, restoring balance and putting your rational CEO back in charge. Your brain isn't broken. It's just highly adaptive. For a long time, it has been adapting to a signal of threat. Now, you have the power to give it a new signal, a signal of safety.com and recovery. So the next time you feel that pressure building, remember what's happening inside your head. Your brain is doing its best to protect you, but you can be the one to teach it how to relax and heal. If you found this exploration of the brain fascinating and helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Share it with someone in your life who needs to understand what stress is really doing to their brain, because the more we understand our own minds, the better equipped we are to protect them. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.